Welcome back to Universe. I'm Andrew, and today I'm playing Worldbreakers, Advent of the Khanate, the solo campaign, Chapter 7, which is the second chapter of Part 2. We're playing as Kudaloon, and got the story here for Part 7. If you didn't see the first 6 chapters, check the link to the playlist in the description, but you're welcome to join me either way. It starts as a tremor in the empathic bond. You are speaking with your Keshig about your prisoner, the European Marco Polo, when you feel an attack on your people. You quickly leave the Gur and witness a dreadful spectacle. A violet cloud descending upon the Amu River encampment, corroding everything in its path. Many of the soldiers are directing families and animals away from the dust, but they need their leader. Win this chapter to evacuate the camp before it is completely destroyed. Objective is 7 power. Flip this card if you win the game. So we will need 7 power to win. Our opponent will need 10, and I'm going to start with 1 power because of my chosen difficulty setting from the expanded rulebook. I need to draw 5 cards to start and then resolve potential mulligan. Again, I'm going to throw back the humble underpass. Otherwise, I think I'm going to keep it. So I'll just draw 1 to replace this and then shuffle that back in. And I will take the first action as always. Also starting with 5 Mythium. And I think I'm going to start with the Kalari Adept. I haven't actually really used this guy yet, but he costs 1, so I paid that. He requires 1 Earth Standing, which I start with because my Worldbreaker is Kudaloon, whose faction is Earth. And when the Kalari Adept attacks, I will gain 1 Mythium. So hopefully that'll help me build an early money engine. My action was to play a card, so now it's my opponent's action. I already shuffled this deck, and their first action will be to recruit. Put the top card of your opponent's deck into play. This is my opponent's deck, putting it into play. For them, you get a Void Apprentice, which is the scariest one, actually. Oh, it doesn't have the Enters ability this time. Last game, they got to trigger that second Enters ability because a follower had been defeated that round. This time, it is not, so that's nice. But it will trigger this Pernicious Powder, that second Force Interrupt, if your opponent would draw a card or gain standing from a non-order card ability. Place a Mythium here instead, so they're going to get 1 Mythium, which they can use at the end of each order they resolve to, if they have at least 3, they spend it all to deal 1 wound to one of my followers. So now they have 1 Mythium. One thing I found out is that I had been, last game, I gave them Mythium from the rally phase. Gain 2 Mythium, draw a card, which would be converted into a 3rd Mythium. They don't actually get that, so that makes it a little bit easier on me. But they do get this standing. Gain Void Standing, converted that into 1 Mythium. And they have a 2/2 follower. That resolves their recruit. It says flip this card. That was their turn 1. So now we can see that they will raid on their turn 2. And this is important because I was thinking about letting them get through with that attack. If your opponent controls a ready follower, it attacks with it. That follower gains breach. So if it hits me, they gain 5 Mythium. Otherwise, they would develop a location. So that's what they'll do on their turn 2 in this case. And I'll put that here, which means it's my second action. And what do I want to do? I wanted to attack, and because of their defense rules, they would not block it because their next upcoming action is action 2. They do not block with their last ready follower if their next turn is 2 or 4. So they would have let me hit them. I would get the attack trigger. I would gain a power for attacking. The attack trigger would be another Mythium here, so I'd go back up to 5. And then I was going to let them hit me back. But now, I don't know if I want them to get that 5 Mythium, because then at the end of that order, they'll just kill this Kalari Adept with their Pernicious Powder. My other option would be to try to play something that can trade with the Void Apprentice, or kill it outright, but I don't have that option. So maybe I play this Eagle Huntress, but I don't want to block with it either because I have this Earth Apprentice, which makes me want to have 2 followers in play to draw a card. But I guess I don't really have an option because if I let it hit me, their Pernicious Powder will kill my weakest or lowest health follower, and I won't be upping my number of followers anyway. And I don't have anybody who can block this and survive. So I'm either trading or not trading. All right, so I guess I'm just going to play this Eagle Huntress, pay 2 for that. When it enters, I migrate. For Earth, I can draw 2 cards by paying my 1 Earth Standing, which would mean I can't play either of these 2 cards from my hand until after I've played this Earth Apprentice to get that standing back, or I can choose to gain a standing. So either spend 1 to draw 2 cards or gain 1. In this case, I think I have to gain 1 and put this into play. And that's my second action. goes to them. They will raid, which means they're attacking, and I'm going to go ahead and defend. So they have their 2 power will kill my 2 health. My 2 power will kill their 2 health, and we trade followers. Raid, after resolving, says discard this card. So we'll discard that, revealing another recruit, which they'll do on their 3rd action. Now for my 3rd action, I can go ahead and attack now, or I could play another follower. Yeah, I guess I'm just going to play the Skillful Bruiser for my last 2 Mythium. Has Overwhelmed, so if it's blocked by a follower and kills it, I gain a power, even though it was blocked, although she'll probably die anyway because she's only got the 1 health. Now I've got 2 followers. My opponent will recruit a Resourceful Aid, a 2/2. First time each round, one of your followers attacks alone, gain 2. I don't think I can stop that. This gets flipped and it becomes an Infiltrate. If your opponent controls a non-signature location, they don't, they would develop it. Otherwise, they just attack with 1 follower. So that's going to attack, but it's not going to have the breach ability to gain 5 Mythium. But I do believe it's still going to get that attack trigger to give them 2 more. So I know that on their 4th action, they're going to attack, and they will get up to 3 Mythium, and then they will kill one of my followers. In fact, it would be this Bruiser. Actually, it might not be. Whenever the automaton must choose a card in play, it uses the following criteria. Step 1, choose a ready follower. Step 2, choose a card or choose a ready follower before exhausted, but it would still choose a exhausted one if that's all I've got. 2 is choose a card with the highest standing. These 2 are tied with 1 earth. Step 3, choose a card with the highest Mythium cost. Oh, this is higher cost. So it would kill the Bruiser with a higher cost of 2. But I don't think there's much I can do about that. I mean, I can block this, but I wouldn't be... But if I let it in, then it's going to be able to attack for another 2 Mythium again next time. This Pernicious Powder is so mean to my Earth Apprentice. Because if I don't attack, this will attack. They'll gain 2 Mythium. I can block to trade with it. They'll both die, but then they'll still have the 3 Mythium with which to shoot this, and then I'll have nothing. So I feel like I actually want to attack, and they choose not to block. Again, based on this order's defense, we covered it more thoroughly last time. But again, basically because their next action is 4, we can see they do not, if they don't have a location and their next turn is 2 or 4, they will not block with their last ready follower. This is their last ready follower. Their next turn is 4, so they don't block. So I get through with 2 followers, which means I get 2 power going up to 3. I just need 4 more to win. 7 will do it. When this attacks, I gain a Mythium, and that's all that happens. Their 4th action, they will go ahead and infiltrate, attack, get the attack trigger up to 3 Mythium. Because I didn't block this, they gain 1 power, and then at the end of the order resolution, they will use the powder, spend all their Mythium to shoot one of my followers for 1 wound, and it only had 1 health, so it's gone. This is discarded to reveal a regular recruit. We do the rally phase. It says we resolve rally abilities, but there are none. We ready all cards. Everybody gains 2 Mythium, but again, they ignore that. Everybody draws a card, but again, they ignore that. Check for victory, no, and flip turn order. So instead of me going first, now they will go first. And they will recruit. They get, oh, here's their location. So it costs 4 and a void requirement, but they ignore all that. Forlorn Flats. So it's going to have 2 developments here. First, they will gain a void standing and a power. The void standing would be converted into Mythium, though. And then they will gain a power, which would and deal 2 wounds to a follower. So we'll see if that comes up. This gets flipped to reveal a regular infiltrate again, and it's my first action of round 2. And I really want to play the Earth Apprentice, but I also really want to draw a card for having 2 other followers, which I don't have. And now if I attack, they will defend their location. But maybe that's a good thing, because with Kudaloon's ability, whenever I attack, I can give 1 attacking follower strength. So I can attack with the Adept, give it 1 strength so it has 2, and then when they block to defend their location, they will trade. So maybe that's what I want to do. And I'll get the attack trigger of gaining 1 Mythium, putting me up to 4. It's also going to make it harder for me to get to this Earth Apprentice ability. Maybe I just have to suck it up. So I'm going to do it. Attack, give it +1 from Kudaloon. Based on their AI sequencing decision making for blocking, they will defend their location. Again, 2 will kill 2, 2 will kill 1, and we get a trade. But before that, I do get my 1 Mythium. Their second action, they will resolve Infiltrate. If they have a non-signature location, they develop it. So they develop this, which means they remove the topmost token to resolve its ability, which was to gain a void standing and a power. Power will work normally, but the standing will be a Mythium instead. one of 3 toward shooting another one of my followers, which I currently don't have. This is discarded to reveal another regular recruit. And yep, not thrilled, but I'm going to go ahead and play the Earth Apprentice as a 2/2. I'm going to gain a 3rd Earth standing. And that's it. They will also recruit. And this is a lowly bard. They gain a Mythium for each of their standing. So they do have 1 standing, so they will get 1 Mythium. But it's just a 1/1. This gets flipped to be a regular infiltrate. So they're going to want to develop their location again. And now if I attack, they will defend it, which is kind of nice because that gives me a free way to destroy their bard at least. Kill one of their followers, but it won't actually damage the location, so they'll still be developing that. And that lets them hit a follower for 2 when they do. And that's going to kill my apprentice. So using it now makes sense. So I guess that's my action. My action 3 is attacking. If they have 1 ready follower and a location, they block with their ready follower. So now 2 will kill 1, and 1 will deal 1 wound to 2. So that's gone. Then on their action, they will develop Forlorn Flats, gaining a 3rd power and dealing 2 wounds to a follower, finishing off my apprentice. This has no more developments available, so it's discarded. Goes to my 4th action. This is discarded to reveal another regular recruit. And with my 1 Mythium, I'm going to play a Weary Veteran, because now I do have the 3 Earth standing. With 1 guild, it gets a +1/+1 counter, so it will be a 2/3 instead of a 1/2. That ends the round. So we do the rally phase, ready cards, gain 2 Mythium, draw a card, check for victory, and flip player order. I'm up first. Let's see what I drew. Got a Poised Duelist. Gets +1/+1 if I have, again, 2 other followers. I only have 1 right now, so I'd love to get another one. 3 health means this might be able to survive a bit, but I've got 2 cards in hand, and this one's not a follower. Maybe I should have mulliganed this, I'm not sure. Defeat a wounded follower. I feel like I'm just killing everything I fight, so unless they play something big and scary, I don't think I'm going to be using that. So I wonder if I need to use an action to draw a card, or maybe I just need to be willing to play this again without the bonus and just play followers and be attacking. Sure, I'm just going to play followers and be attacking. They will recruit the Cunning Reclaimer. When it attacks, if it's attacking alone, choose a follower that can't block. Okay, I think I'm okay with that. This flips to a regular infiltrate. My 2nd action, I'm just going to attack. They only have 1 follower, and their next turn is 2. So they don't block. I get 2 more power, up to 5. Their action will be to infiltrate, so they will go ahead and attack. They'll choose somebody not to block, but I can't block anyway because my guys are already exhausted. So they gain 1 power, up to 4. Discard the infiltrate to reveal another regular recruit. I have no Mythium, so and nothing I want to play either. So I guess my 3rd action is just going to be to draw a card. Their 3rd action will be to recruit a Baleful Viper. After it wounds a follower, defeat it. When it breaches, they gain a Void Standing, which would be converted to Mythium. I wonder if I'm going to have to use the Wild Boar Charge on that one, because it's got a big old 3 health. Flip this to reveal a regular infiltrate, so they'll be attacking with the Viper. Now I'm getting outnumbered. I drew a follower, but it costs 5. So my 4th action, am I just going to gain 1 Mythium? I guess so. Then they will infiltrate. Again, they're just going to get power. Rally phase, we will ready. I get 2 more and a card. Check for victory, 5/5. Fortunately, I only need 7. They need 10. They're going to be going first. This should have been discarded. They got a regular recruit off the top, which is a 1/1. After it is blocked, they gain 2 Mythium and a standing, which would be another Mythium. So a 3rd Mythium if I block that. This is flipped to a Stupefy. So now they've got, if your opponent controls a ready follower, it attacks with 1 follower. Breach, I discard 2 cards. So what do they attack with? They attack with their highest standing and then highest cost. So I think the Baleful Viper will be the one to attack. And if I don't block it, I discard 2 cards. So I know that'll be coming for turn 2. If I attack with both of these, they will block with 2 of theirs because they have 3 and they'd still have 1 left over with which to attack, which is kind of how they think. They block using the ready follower that has the most remaining health. So I guess this would block, or it'd be both. Tiebreaker would be the highest cost, I guess. Normal tiebreakers, highest standing, highest cost. So the Baleful Viper would block my attacker with the lowest strength, but it's a tie. And this has higher standing, so they would block like this, I believe. And then they would still make another block, which would be this one having the highest remaining health, and it would do this. So this ability, after Baleful Viper wounds a follower defeat it, my Poised Duelist would die, putting 2 wounds under the 3 health Baleful Viper. And then this 3 would kill this 3, and this 2 would put 2 wounds there. These would both survive, and these would both be dead. Then they would attack me with the Stupefy using the Cut Purse. I would have to discard 2 cards. So none of that is sounding good. So let's not do that. Oh, I would get to assign this somewhere, and that would change things, but not enough, because I would still lose it. I'd kill one of these, presumably, but mine would still both be dead, and I'd still end up having to discard cards. So I don't know how this is going to play out, but I think I need to play Gratuitous Gift. I can play a follower for 2 less. This is 0 cost event. So I'll go to my discard pile, and I will play the Mongol Quartermaster for 2 less. Instead of 5, it'll be 3, and then I can migrate to play another follower card for 2 less, but I don't have another follower card. And so instead of spending a standing to do that, I will gain a standing going up to 4. Now I have a 5 cost 5/4, and I don't know what's going to happen, but I know it's probably going to be better than what I just walked through. So now they're going to try to Stupefy. Now they will attack with a follower. It attacks. Each time your opponent attacks, it declares 1 attacking follower, choosing one of its ready followers with the highest strength. So they will attack with the Reclaimer, which is a 3/3. When it attacks, if it's attacking alone, choose a follower it can't block. So I assume they go through their normal steps here. Oh, but they choose the highest standing requirement first, and Poised Duelist has a higher standing requirement than the Quartermaster, which means they choose the Duelist to not be able to block, and I can block with my Quartermaster, which is a 5/4, and swallow this. So that is nice. Take 3 wounds for my troubles, but I'm happy with that. Discard the Stupefy to reveal Set the Trap. Their next action is going to be, if they have a location, they gain 2. Otherwise, they gain 1 Mythium. That'll be their 3rd. Either way, put the top card of their deck into play so they still get to recruit. So they're going to recruit and shoot next turn. The shooting will not kill either of any of my followers. She's got 2 left, he's got 3 left, and he's only got 1 left. So it actually will kill my Quartermaster with the Pernicious Powder. It's very annoying. And because their next turn is odd, they are fully willing to block. So how would this play out if I attack now? My lowest attack gets blocked first, but it's a tie, so highest standing would get blocked first by their highest health. So it'd be like this, which would kill my Duelist again and not kill the Viper. And then this would block here and get swallowed. If I do this, does that change anything? Not really, because then the Viper is going to block whatever has the lowest attack value. So whichever one I put this on, the Viper's just going to block the other one. So it means the Viper will still be alive. I lose my Duelist, but I kill the Cut Purse. So I'm trading Duelist for Cut Purse. That puts a wound on the Viper, and then I can play this later, but I don't have the 2 Mythium, and I'd have to spend an action on that. Really not excited about losing the Quartermaster, but I don't think there's anything I can do about that, unless somehow the Duelist survives with 1 health, which I could do by doing this, because then the Viper wants to block here. Lowest attack value, blocked by their highest health value. And then this block would go here. It'd only be putting 1 wound on the Viper, but I think that's going to happen no matter what. This will die. This will survive. This will die. And then when they set the trap and shoot something, it'll be a tie for the lowest health at 1 each. Highest standing goes to the Duelist, and my Quartermaster survives. Is that notably better? With 1 health left, does 5 power, 5 strength matter? I mean, I can also not attack. Just draw a card, gain a Mythium. Maybe I keep my ready folks for blocking. Gaining 1 Mythium feels so bad. Drawing a card that I can't afford doesn't feel much better. So I'm going to gain 1 Mythium. I think last game got off to a much better start. I was gaining standing, spending standing for powerful effects, triggering apprentices for cool abilities. Left and right. All right, I'm going to let them set the trap. They're going to gain their 3rd Mythium because they don't have a location, but 1 or 2 doesn't matter because they're going to spend all of it at the end of this order. They're going to recruit somebody, which is their Void Apprentice. And this is a second Void Apprentice, so they gain... Well, it's actually fine, because they're about to spend... They have 3 anyway, so they gain 1 for the standing, and because a follower was defeated, they draw a card, which is also converted to Mythium, so they just got waste of Mythium, because now at the end of the turn, Pernicious Powder has them spend all of the Mythium, regardless of how much it is, to deal 1 wound to whoever I have with the lowest health remaining, which unfortunately is this one. And the Quartermaster's gone, and now they have 3 followers to my 2. This gets flipped to a raid. So they're going to attack with 1 follower, and if it hits me, they gain 5 Mythium. They attack with whoever has the highest strength value, which will be their Void Apprentice, which means my Weary Veteran can actually block it super well. And I'm going to have to dig through these followers before I can try to make a comeback of some kind. I need to play followers, but I have 1 card that's not a follower and 1 Mythium. I'm just going to gain the second Mythium, let them raid me. They attack with the Apprentice. I'll block with the Veteran. Kill the Apprentice, take 2 wounds. At least I got that bonus. That +1/+1 is nice. This is discarded for another Set the Trap. And then my 4th action, I'm just going to get another Mythium. I need to be able to play whatever I draw, I think. So ready, gain 2, draw a card, flip this. I get to go first, and I did draw a follower, which I can afford, which is this Lion Tamer for 1. Now I can migrate. I'm actually going to spend 1 finally to gain 3. So I'm up to 7. Now I wish I had some more cards to play. But now I have a little bit more comfortable position, I think, for now. They will set the trap, which gives them 1 Mythium, and recruit a Swift Messenger, 1/3. When it enters, they gain a standing, so that's their second Mythium. This flips to become a Spring the Trap. If they have a ready follower, they attack with 1. It gains breach, deal a wound to each follower the defending player controls. So definitely want to be able to block that. They will be attacking with their highest strength, which is a tie. Highest standing is a tie. Highest cost is going to be the Baleful Viper. So if I could somehow hit that for 3, that would be great, but I cannot. But I can prevent it from attacking by attacking for myself, because this would be one of the ones they choose to block with. It would block my lowest. But here's the thing. If I attack with 3, they will block 2 and leave 1 up. Because for the last block, they will not use block with their last follower when their next turn is even. So I can't really attack unless I'm willing to let... Like, I would get 1 of mine through and gain 1 power up to 6. But then they would get to breach, spring the trap, and wound everybody. Although who would be left after that attack anyway? Maybe I just relax, draw a card, do some blocking, and try to get to a point where I can gain 2 more power at the same time. So I'm going to draw. They're going to attack with spring the trap. Their highest strength is a tie, highest standing, highest cost. And who do I want to throw away? I guess just the Lion Tamer. We'll put 1 wound on the Viper. It's now wounded, so now I can use the Wild Boar Charge if I want to spend an action on it. This is discarded to reveal a regular recruit. My 3rd action, I can play the Earth Apprentice that I just drew, Earth Apprentice number 2. This one I get to benefit from, so I'm going to gain Earth Stand and go back up to 4. And I actually get to draw that card this time. Then they will recruit. They get a Silent Assassin, Bloodshed 1. When it attacks alone, it deals a wound to a follower I control. When will it attack alone? Only if it has the highest attack value, which it does, or the highest standing, which it does, or the highest cost, which it does. So it actually is their next attacker. This is flipped to reveal a Skirmish. It increases their standing with Void, which I'm kind of lucky at because there's only a couple. I mean, it could have been later, but this is one of the last order cards in the deck. And when they get that second Void standing, because they started with 1, it's going to add 4 powerful new cards into their deck. So things are about to get messy. But at least it came a little later. And then they're going to go ahead and attack because they don't have a location. So that was their 3. When this attacks, it's going to deal 1 wound. This one doesn't do the least remaining health rule as far as I can tell. It will do highest standing first, or ready first, and then highest standing. So it's actually going to do a useless wound onto my Poise Duelist. Well, it's not useless, but it won't finish it off like it would the Weary Veteran. So I'm going to play this follower I just drew. Costs 4. The Champion of the Tomb. That's all my remaining Mythium for a 4/2 with Overwhelm. And hope for the best. They're going to skirmish. They're going to gain a second Void, which unlocks this new rules card 2 So this is Forced Interrupt. When your opponent has 2 Void standing, shuffle all the cards stored here into their deck. These are the 4 cards that were stored there. According to the setup rules, their deck was only 2 more cards, and now it's 6. But 4 of them, 2/3 of them, are more powerful than the rest of their deck, so it's a bit concerning. Gotta finish this up quickly. And then they attack, which again we calculated is going to be the Silent Assassin. It's going to wound somebody. Highest standing is here. 1 on the Poised Duelist, and I'll block with the Earth Apprentice. 2 will kill 1, and 1 will go on the 2. And that was a pretty good exchange for me, I think. This is discarded to reveal a Vicious Stab. Your opponent deals a wound to a follower you control with the least remaining health. Put the top card of their deck into play. So now they're going to get me. And that was the end of the round. So we'll go ahead and do the rally phase. We're going to ready. I'm going to gain 2 Mythium. I'm going to draw a card. But as we flip, they are first, which means I get to do this now. My least remaining health is 1, 1, or 1. Highest standing is the Poised Duelist. So that she's done. And then they get to recruit as well before flipping that to become an Infiltrate. And there we go. 1/4 breach. I discard a card. So that was their 1. And then they're going to be attacking. Their highest attack value is just a 1. Highest standing is the Saboteur. So they will be attacking with that 1/4. And if I let it hit me, I will have to discard a card. So if I kill the Baleful Viper with the Wild Boar charge, and then they attack with the Saboteur, I could take it. I'll discard my other remaining card, my last one. They will have 2 people left. On my second action, I can attack with 3, but they'll block 2 of them. Really want to get 2 through with 2. But if they block the Champion of the Tumen, Overwhelm means I gain the power anyway. But they wouldn't block the Champion of the Tumen because it's not how they do things. Unless I attack... No, they will block. Or I play a follower, because I have that option, and then I have 4 followers. They attack with 1 of them. I let them hit me. I discard the Wild Boar charge. On my second action, their next turn would be 3, which means they're willing to block with everything. I've got 4 followers to their 3, and they block 3, but the 3 they block would not be the Champion of the Tumen. I need them to block this one so that I can kill the blocker and trigger Overwhelm. But they wouldn't block the Champion of the Tumen because it doesn't have the lowest strength. It has the opposite of the lowest strength. That is my highest strength. The highest I can get anything else to be would be 3 with the token. I guess I'm still just blocking. I mean, I have a good block, but they're going to play stronger and stronger cards now. So I guess I'm going to play the Wild Boar charge for my only 2 Mythium. Defeat a wounded follower. Defeat the Baleful Viper. And then they will infiltrate with the Saboteur because it has the highest attack. Tie, highest standing. I will block with Champion of the Tumen. 4 will kill 4. 1 will only put 1 wound on my 2, which is nice, and that's dead. Then this is discarded to reveal Set the Trap. So we've seen this one. They gain a Mythium, and then they recruit somebody. That was their 2. My 2. I mean, now... Yeah, if I attack with both, they'll block with both, and I'd lose both of my people. Oh no, now they're going to get another Mythium, and they're going to shoot somebody, and it's going to be the champion. Unless I play somebody else with higher... No. Nope. And I'm not getting to attack with any of my Overwhelmed people. Now I forget, did I attack with the Skillful Bruiser, or did she just die to some Pernicious Powder effect? I don't know. Or did I block with her? I'm just going to gain a Mythium? I don't know. They gain a Mythium. They recruit. All right. Just a 1/2 this time. That's good. They don't have the 3 standing, but that's one of the last. I think there's 1 more weaker card in there, and then 3 more strong ones. Then the Pernicious Powder will trigger and shoot my champion for having... Oh no! They shoot exhausted followers, or ready followers first. Ready followers are nice, but... So ready follower, highest standing, highest cost. So it's actually the Earth Apprentice that goes. Which means I still have hope to use Overwhelm, although I'm down a blocker. This gets flipped to be a regular Infiltrate. My third action. So now I have an interesting thing, because if I attack here, I can give it +1. They block with their highest health, which would be the Messenger. And I can trade the Messenger for my Veteran, because 1, 2, 3 attack with only 1 health remaining. Or they're going to attack with their Infiltrate, and they're going to attack with this one, and I wouldn't want to block it because they get 3 Mythium out of that. Or I could just not attack and just gain a Mythium, and then on action 4 I can play this guy. I think I'm going to do the Mythium plan. So they're going to infiltrate with the cut purse. I'm going to let them through. They go up to 6 power, so now they're winning. My fourth action will be to spend the 2 on Arag Maker. I gain a standing with any guild. This time I will gain Moon. I haven't seen a Moon card yet, but I definitely don't need a 5th Earth. And now I have a 2/2. We rally, ready, gain Mythium, draw a card, and check for victory, and flip. This was discarded, which was their last card, so I'm going to reshuffle their order deck. And without looking, let's see what comes out on top for their first action. Is going to be a regular recruit, but I'm first. And what happens if I attack? So they block my lowest attack, which is a tie, although I can break that tie. But let's say I did this one, for example. They block my lowest attack with their highest health. So this would block like that. This would not die. This would die. My next lowest attack is this one. Their next highest health is this one. So they'd block like this. This would die and this would not. And then they'd block like this because their next turn is 1, not 2 or 4. So this would die and Overwhelm would trigger. But this would also die because it already has 1 wound. So what would be left is Arag Maker and Swift Messenger. I would go up to 6 power from the Overwhelm. But I need 7. If I did like this instead, this would block here. Neither of them would die. This would block here. They both would die, and these would both die. And that's the same outcome. And I guess I could be attacking one at a time, but I'm always tempted to attack with a bunch because it's more efficient in terms of actions. But if I just attack with the champion, they would block with the messenger, and they would trade, and I would gain a power. And I'd still have 2 followers ready. But they would also have 2 followers ready. But maybe that's better. So I'm going to do that. Attack here. You have a +1, although that doesn't matter. They block with their highest health, which is this one. So 1 will kill 1 left, and 5 will kill 3. Overwhelm will trigger, and I gain 1 more power. 6 to 6. They will recruit Serendipitous Witness. First time each round, a follower is defeated. They gain 1 Mythium. Fortunately, they just missed the action, at least this time. This is flipped to a raid, so they're going to attack with 1 follower, and if it hits me, they gain 5 Mythium. The follower they will attack with will be the Witness, the 2/3. I don't have anybody who can hit for 3, but I could attack again, use this again. If I do this, this becomes a 3/2, or 3/3, but with 2 wounds, and then again they would block with their highest health follower, which would be the Witness. And because of Kudalun's bonus, that turns this into a trade. Whereas on defense, I can't deal 3 wounds with 1 follower. So then when they attack, it'll be with a small guy, which I can block. Although it will be with the cut purse because it has standing, which means when I block it, they will gain 3 Mythium, and then they will use Pernicious Powder to finish off the Arag Maker. But that just makes this into a trade. But they'll be left with a follower over me, and I can't match that, and then they'll immediately recruit again, and I'll be behind by 2 followers. If I let it through, they get the Breach ability for 5 Mythium, which will also trigger the powder to deal 1, but then that won't kill him because he didn't block. I think that's the best way out of this situation. So I'm going to attack, they will block, make the trade, and oh, they actually gain a Mythium from the Witness's own ability. But I think that doesn't matter in this case, because now when they do their raid, they will attack here. I think I'm letting it through so that I still have a guy alive. The raid breach gives them 5 Mythium, which puts them up to 6, but Pernicious Powder has them spend all of it to deal 1 wound. This is discarded. Regular Recruit is next, and it's just the, I think, 3 more powerful cards left in there. I can attack, but they'll block and trade. That doesn't sound good. Do I draw? Here, this is my card. It's really bad right now. And it's not particularly good anyway. But I'm 1 off from being able to play it, and it won't even impact things very much. So I think I'm going to draw a card as my action. I got a better card, but I also can't play that one. So they will recruit a 5/4. First time each round a follower is defeated, they draw a card, which would convert to them having a Mythium. And then my last action of this is flipped to a skirmish. They're going to get a 3rd void standing, but that doesn't matter. 5/4 is so big. This is so bad. I'm going to draw another card. Then they're going to skirmish, gain a third void, attack with their highest strength follower. And I can block and put 2 wounds on it, but I'm going to let it through for their 8th power. That was their 4th action. This is discarded, revealing a regular recruit. We will ready. Gain 2 Mythium, draw another card. Flip this, they go first. Another recruit is Bloodshed 1. When it attacks alone, it deals a wound. It's a 2/4. Now this is flipped to reveal a regular infiltrate, but so we know that they're going to be attacking with 1 follower. That 1 follower will be their highest strength. So Callous Closer will be attacking, and that would be their 9th power if I let it through. I drew some relevant cards, hopefully. Let's see how this goes. I'm going to play Amu River Armorer for 3. I'm going to migrate, spending an Earth Standing to gain 3 Mythium and put a +1/+1 counter on somebody. I think I'm going to put it on this guy to buff up his health a bit. And now they will infiltrate, attacking with the Callous Closer. I think I'm going to let them get in with this one for 9. This is discarded to reveal a Set the Trap. They're going to gain a Mythium and then recruit. My next action, I'm going to play the Humble Underpass, which I mulliganed away. That's such a humble card. I'm going to pay 2 for that. This is my location. I can develop it to gain 2 Mythium and a power. I can develop it again to gain 2 Mythium and a standing. Really want that power. So put those there. Then they will do their action. They gain a Mythium, do a recruit. This is the last card in their deck. After that, they will reshuffle. And this is the Raiders Hideaway. Oh, when it enters, they attack. And I said in the previous video that I would get clarity on whether they actually do that attack, and I did. The designer let me know. They told me that my opponent will be attacking with 1 follower, which would be the one with the highest strength, which is the Alamet Emissary. When it attacks alone, deals a wound to a follower that I control, which will be this one, because it has the higher cost, everything else being tied. I cannot let this through. Also, they're going to be able to potentially develop this in the future. And this is just them putting this into play. And if they develop this, they get a power, which is really bad because that would be their 10th, even if I stop this one. So this seems bad. I can't trade with it, but I have to block it. So I'll block with the Armorer because it's only got 1 health left. Put 2 wounds on here. And this dies. I also can't let them through because it would damage my location, which I need to develop. Now, unfortunately, this is going to be flipped. It's going to reveal a Spring the Trap. Your opponent controls a ready follower, they attack. Oh, good. Otherwise, they would develop a location. So as long as they attack and I can defend it, I think I'm okay. But we'll see how it plays out. If they have a ready follower, they attack with 1. It gains breach, deal a wound. But I just won't let it breach, right? So my 3rd action, I'm going to develop the Humble Underpass to gain 2 Mythium and 1 power, putting me up to 7 finally, which is the amount I need. Their 4th action will be to attack with a ready follower. Highest strength is a tie. Highest standing is the Cut Purse. I have to block it. 2, 3 will kill 1, and 1 will kill... Actually, 1 doesn't kill. I've got 3 health now here, so I get a 2nd wound. But this has a response after it's blocked. They gain 2 Mythium and a standing, which means they get 3 Mythium up to 4, which means they trigger their Pernicious Powder. They spend all 4 of their Mythium to deal 1 wound, and that will kill my Arag Maker. So now he's dead, and now it's my 4th action. I think this is just for fun at this point. I'm going to play Call to Arms, reveal the top of my deck until I reveal 2 followers, and I can play 1, add the other to my hand. I've got 4 options. I will choose to play the Moon Apprentice and add the Fanciful Astronomer to my hand. These 3, I guess, get shuffled back. And she said that I gain a moon, and if I have at least 3 standing with the guild, I can draw a card. I've only got 3 cards left in my deck, but I get to draw one of those because I've got 3 Earth. Did I have 4? I'm not sure, but doesn't matter. So she comes out. That's done. And I will end my action here, which means now we go to the rally phase. Rally abilities, ready cards, gain Mythium, draw a card, check for victory. They need 10. I need 7. I got my 7, so I win. That was really close. I feel like if I messed anything up, I mean, in terms of rules, if I made some kind of mistake in there somewhere, I probably should have lost. Hopefully that's not the case, or if it is, you didn't notice it. But if you saw my first half of this campaign, you know I would keep playing even if I did lose. So we pulled it out in the end by the skin of my teeth. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for next time, episode or chapter 8. Oh, we got to do so. We're not done. Oh my gosh, I almost went to bed. Well, probably not went to bed, but I feel like I need a nap. Flip this card if you win the game. Draft 3 cards. Gather the following and add it to your opponent's play deck. The Pit of Despair. Replace a recruit infiltrate with muster infiltrate. So regular recruit, recruit raid, recruit skirmish, recruit infiltrate. So this one is out and being replaced by a recruit or infiltrate muster. Muster says put the top of your opponent's deck into play and then increase their void. So they're going to get their void faster. Plus, read new rules 3 and add it for future games. Proceed to chapter 8. New rules 3 says storage 2, gather the following cards. The Ancient Butcher and Swirling Skirmisher are forced to interrupt when your opponent has 3 void. Shuffle these stored cards into their deck. And when they use Ancient Butcher's attacks ability, choose 0. All right, so the Pit of the Despair that they get to just straight up add to their deck is this insane 7-cost location. They gain 2 power, they gain 2 Mythium and a power, they draw 2 cards and gain a power. So I'm going to need to be able to attack and get rid of that. That's going into their starting deck. Well, that's just not fair. And then with the new rules card, when they get 3 void, they're going to have the Ancient Butcher and the Swirling Skirmisher. So when it's a 4/6, when it attacks alone, they can pay X Mythium to deal X plus 1 wound. So they're going to pay 0 Mythium to deal 1 wound to one of my followers, but a 4/6. And then Swirling Skirmisher, it's a 2/2. When it enters, they attack immediately, and then again. Wow. Okay, so we're going to have our work cut out for us for sure. Now let's draft. All right, so I'm drafting 3. Let's make them good ones. So draft 3 means look at 6. First up, we've got, my deck's upside down, the Steelclad Captain, 4 cost, 3/5, 1 moon requirement. When it blocks, if you have at least 4 moon, ready her, and she can't block again this combat. So that's quite strong. I mean, 4 for a 3/5, I think I'm willing to do that just straight up. And if I happen to get 4 moon, which I probably won't, that's pretty intense, but that'd be a very powerful effect. Okay. 4 cost, Confident Suitor, 4 for a 6/6, Overwhelm. So I didn't like this out of Kudalun's deck when we were playing against her in the first half of the campaign because they didn't get the 6 Mythium, but I would get the 6 Mythium. So I pay 4 to get a 6/6. After it overwhelms or I gain power from it breaching, if it's still in play, I gain 6 and then it's defeated. So it's kind of like a 1 use, but it's even better here because I can block with it as well. So I can play it, block with it, and then maybe next round attack with it. Get an overwhelm trigger at the very least. Threaten locations and whatnot. This is pretty tempting too. 4 cost here for a 6/6, and it pays me back plus with the 6 Mythium back. 5 cost, 5/3 attacks, gain 2. I like this too, although I'm liking the lower health less and less. So I like the Steelclad Captain with the higher health. 0 cost, 3 Earth standing requirement. Play a follower card and then attack. I haven't really felt like I was in position to be doing that, and I have to pay, like I'm down a card kind of. Like I'm playing a card for action efficiency, which is aggressive, and that's what I thought I was going to be doing, but I haven't felt that aggressive. I felt like I kind of had to control this Saboteur who was coming in at me. So I don't know, maybe this would help me establish my aggressive position, but that's hard with the 3 Earth standing. And these two, the Confident Suitor and this 10,000 Ride, these are both starred as being Kudalun specific cards, so they're extra powerful. Just trying to think what's going to help me beat this Void opponent. And here's the third one. 2 cost, 1/1. When it attacks, it gets a +1/+1 counter, and it is Overwhelm. I think that one has to go in. I gotta take that one. Yeah. And last option here is a 5 cost double moon card. Storage 1. One other card can be stored face up under it. When it enters, store a follower from your hand to draw a card. When it blocks, play the card stored here, but you have to pay for it. I like this a lot. I don't know that I'm going to be doing it in this deck, though. I already have a double moon requirement card, and just not sold on that possibility, especially in this lineup. So Patient Mentor, I'm going to pass on. 10,000 Ride, I think I'm going to pass on as well for the reasons I discussed. And yeah, the low health here, I'm not going to take that one. So I'm going to take 2 of Kudalun's 3 signature cards, passing on one of them in favor of the Steelclad Captain, a 4 cost, 3/5. Yeah, I really think the 3/5 is going to be able to do a lot of work here. And the quadruple moon gives me a nice quest to work on to see if I can block with her, ready her, and then also attack with her. Or even block twice. It just can't be in the same fight. But there'd be no reason to block twice in the same fight anyway, because they only ever attack with one follower at a time, and she probably killed it with her 3 strength. So these are the 3 cards I'm adding to my deck. The draft will be set aside for next time. The cards I didn't pick will be out of the campaign forever. And now I can go to bed or something. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing, and bye.